What's good with it in the hood with it? Little reaction right here on Gunner's Profiles. You know we about to get it in, man. Now trip out, man. It's all real talk, real life right here. I stumbled upon this episode of Joe Rogan. I want to give Joe Rogan a shout out, give him his respects. This is the Joe Rogan podcast, man. Definitely which I watch every day. I've said it before and I'll say it again. It's one of the most captivating podcasts on YouTube that I've ran into. Now this individual right here said he was in prison. Now, I know Dubs actually did a video reacting to this guy and said that, he was a prison liar. That this guy, a lot of the things he said didn't make sense. So I wanted to watch it for myself and give you guys my reaction to it and see exactly what this guy said, what I could identify with and what I can't. And I'll let you guys know straight up, man. This individual right here, he's over here looking like Captain Jack Sparrow. I don't know if this individual really did time like he said he did time in a most vicious fashion, but we're going to find out. Now, one thing I can say is he's definitely a UFC coach now, so he has hands, he has skills, but that don't mean nothing. Anyone who's ever been incarcerated, you already know. When you get locked up, there's a lot of authors with a lot of hands, a lot of skills. They don't give a fuck about UFC. They don't care about WBC. They don't care about PC, right? If you're in prison, man, you are going to function. You're going to do it correctly. Wood, black, sprinkle them in, brother, right? Blacks, Mexicans, whatever the case is. Let's get straight to it so I can react. Let's hear what this guy's talking about.
Then,
and they tell you this, so somebody informs you.
Oh yeah.
I got informed when I went in.
So when I moved from Atlanta to California politics much different. You can't trade with blacks. You can't trade with others. You can't trade with. So you can only trade with your race, and then the whites get along with the essays. So what ends up happening is so you have others, which are any other race besides Mexican, white, or black. And this is a car. It's called a car, right? So everybody has a car, their own rate.
So far, so good. So far, what this individual is saying makes a little bit of sense. Now, let's get to it, man, because I'm identifying with what he says, man, having been on these said yards, 4 yards, 3 yards. That's how it is, man. Everyone sticks and identifies with their own people, especially in California. Now, I don't know. He's talking about Atlanta, so he must have did time in two different states, in Georgia and California, which I'm sure politics are very different. But so far, so good, white guy. You ain't lying.
So you have Woods, you have Skinheads, you got Paisas, you got Mexicans, you got Crips, Bloods, and others.
And the Paisas roll with the Mexicans, the Skinheads roll with the Woods.
Yeah. And if something really pops off, some race
click up.
Then Mexicans and the whites will click up against the blacks, or the blacks.
It's always on them against us. It's always.
He said it's always everybody against the brothers. The brothers can't get no love. And that ain't the case, man, because there's been plenty of occasions where the brothers, man, have identified with the Norteños, and it's not about clicking up. It's about a common enemy. So I could understand his wording, but his wording is a little incorrect. There is no click ups. The whites don't automatically click up with the Southsiders. If they have the common enemy, man, and they can help each other out, then so be it. But for the most part, man, I've seen more, just incarcerated, more Southsiders against whites than anything. That's facts, man. Those real ones know what I'm talking about. But let's see what he's talking about.
It sucked to be black in them times. I'm telling you, real shit. When we thump, though. We thump. So we always knock them out
so
anyway.
You start trying to figure out this shit.
Well, hold on now, brother. You know what I mean? Don't say that. Guard! Right? They're about to say, we knocking out everyone. You ain't Big U, homie. You ain't getting 32 down. Although that is Bobby Green. He is a UFC fighter with major hands. It ain't like that, man. You win some, you lose some. You take dubs, you take L's. That's just the way prison works. But I will say the brothers hold their own just like anyone else, man. That's facts. Don't hate on them.
Shit, you get thrown into that fire, you're trying to figure out all these unwritten rules. There's no rule book, a law book come in and say, hey, do this.
Yeah.
Right. So a guy could really direct you in the wrong way if he wants to, you know what I mean? Like, tell you some sideways shit, and next thing you know, you're in a wreck.
Ooh.
So I go in.
Set you up.
So I go in. This was actually my second experience, not my first experience in there, but my second experience, I go in, they put me into a psych.
Okay, he's about to get in there. Let's see what happens to the white guy. Obviously he's going to roll with his people. That's just the way it is. That's the foundation of prison. That's what you got to do. So far, I haven't heard nothing outlandish. No lying yet. But the look in his eyes says he's about to talk. He's not going to discuss how he got his culo taken. That's right off the top. Let's see what he's got to talk about.
Psych ward, a psych watch.
Psych ward?
Getting extradited from Atlanta to here. And so I go into this area, and I don't know anything, you know, and this black guy in the psych ward is like yelling in this module, you know, like, anybody want to learn how to play chess? Anybody want to learn how to play chess, you know? And I was like, hell yeah, I want to learn how to play chess, right? So I walk over and I sit down with this fool, and he starts showing me how to play.
First of all, I call bullshit. Ain't no white guy gonna go sit down with a black guy, I don't care where you're at, and play chess. Again, just like he said, you have to identify with your own race, and you're not gonna sit there and play games. He must have been on a 1 yard, a psych ward. I don't know where the hell this guy was, but he must have been in McFarland or something. Let's trip out.
Chess, but it's a black guy at a black guy table, and I'm a white guy. So now I just sat down at this black guy table, and all the woods and all the skinheads in there are like now against me.
Oh no.
But I didn't know. Like,
Oh no, you had no idea.
I had no idea.
Oh no.
Right? So now,
No.
yeah. So now,
All right, now we're starting to make a little sense. That was a no-no. He done sat at the wrong table, and now his people are against him. And the white boys don't play about that shit. Sprinkle them woods in, brother, and them skins. They don't play about that. But let's see. Let's hear his story.
my cell pops, and I go to walk to the shower, and I walk past the other cell that pops, which is another skinhead in that room, and I go walk past his cell, and it's smack, right? So now we're fighting.
Wow.
You know, so clean this kid up. Now they move me to another module. So now this kid put a kite out, like, oh, we got to get this guy.
Man, this man's giving the intricate details as to exactly what went down. So far, so good. I mean, this sounds a little outlandish, but it's real. I mean, he got bombed on. He said he cleaned that kid up. So obviously this man has hands. Don't judge him by the mustache and the funny catfish hunter he's got going on. I think he's about his rolly fingers.
So,
Oh, fun.
yeah. So I moved.
Look
to
at Joe, all
module.
interested.
At the time, the institution had a lot of skinheads in there, and the skinheads will politic hard. Like, if they have numbers, then they'll push the politics, you know? And I looked like a skinhead when I went in. I had no hair, you know, like a just bald guy going in there, you know what I mean?
Right.
So they all start treating me like I'm one of them.
Well, hold on now. Why did they start treating this guy like he's one of them? Didn't you just say a kite got flown on him, that he was kicking it with the blacks? One thing I do know about prison is that kite makes its rounds. So everybody would already know what was up with this guy. Bald head or not, motherfucker, you're going to get that baby bashings to your shit. But it's his story. Let's hear him tell it.
But I'm not a fucking skinhead. So this guy come over and he's trying to get me to hide this little shank in my cell. Well, that's weapons manufacturing. Carries 2 more years.
Oh my God.
That's how people start getting hit. You
So-
start catching cases, more cases.
Bobby Green, you're right. You're over there smoking the blizzard while you're saying it. Let me tell you something, man. You have no choice. He ain't trying to get you to do nothing. He's forwarding you that pedazo. You will secure it, period. If you don't, there will be repercussions for your actions. 2 years? Shh. Motherfucker, shit, 2 years in there. Shit, I got 2 years on the toilet.
When you're only putting 2, now you're doing 10. It just stacks up. But go ahead.
And then there's intimidation factor, right? So this guy got a big ass swastika tattooed on his face right here. Teardrops,
jeez.
lightning bolts everywhere. You know what I mean? Like, this, he's a lifer. You know.
Right.
So, big shit goes down. I end up choking this guy unconscious.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Drag him out of my cell because he's trying to get me to hold this shake
Yeah.
in my cell.
So this Volta just, the lifer with the swastikas and the big old, he done choked them out, man. But this guy's still sitting here on Joe Rogan in one piece. How this happened, one never knows, does one. I wonder what yard he paroled off of.
I can't, not doing this, bro. And you come in my cell, it's on.
Right.
So now we fighting. Take this guy out, right? Just choke him out, beat him up, drag him out, hit him with some elbows. Now he's leaking. So drag his ass out into the little module.
So do they know you can fight before you're in
They
here?
don't know.
No.
They have to
No.
How long before they figure it out?
Well, it took
Word
a
start
minute.
traveling.
It took
Word
a minute
start-
because most of the fighting goes on in the cell or in a shower. You know what I mean? So when the fight actually broke out in the open, when there was
I'm sure, brother, there was a lot of other things that went on in that shower that you're not speaking on, but it's your story, yo. We'll let you tell it.
let's find multiple people is what happened, and then all the fucking guards watched. Everybody's watching from their cells. You know, like this is a different time. So this whole incident takes place. I beat this guy up, take him out of my cell. Right now, they take him away. They move this guy out of the modular.
Do they get mad at you?
No, they just come in. You know, they don't really care. The guards
Really?
don't shit. They don't give a shit.
So you fucked that dude up. Is he out cold? Or does he have a? Do
I
they have
choked
to
him
ask him?
unconscious.
Do they have to ask him what his story is?
I don't give a fuck.
But they don't. They don't ask you.
That Walter said he don't give a two flying shits what his story was. The Walter said, here, hold the pedazo. He choked him out, left him leaking, drug him up out of his cell like a motherfucking Captain Caveman, and got to pushing. I think the white guys were very happy with that. But we'll find out, though. Joe Rogan looks interested. When the veins start popping out in his forehead, this Walter sees a knockout coming.
They just let you go. It's okay.
No,
What like is there a punishment? That's what I'm getting at.
They locked me in my cell. I couldn't get out of my cell for like 2 weeks.
Oh, for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Just alone in yourself, constant.
Yeah,
Nothing.
They
Nothing
won't
but
pop the
yourself.
door. So
So he was CTQ'd, which means confined to quarters. I've never seen that just on a simple fight. You know, usually you go right back, yard resumes, you go right back to the yard. That sounds a little outlandish. They usually would put someone in the oil. They're not just going to let you beat someone up, knock them out, drag them up out of your cell, and then you're just going to fucking lock you in your cell for 2 weeks while everyone's looking at you, licking their chops. It's not the way prison works, not the way California politics roll. I don't know what yard this guy was on, but by the looks of it, it wasn't general population.
what happens
Really?
is for a certain amount of hours of the day, they got to pop the door and let you into a bigger cell, a bigger
Right.
room. You know what I mean? So I just couldn't get into the day room for like 2 weeks. But the crazy shit of it all is, like I'm trying to tell you, I'm trying to learn this system, right? This new rules. So what happens is this guy, okay, we talked about the cars and the races, right? So each race has their own car, which means there's a key holder. The key holder to that car controls the race. So they make decisions for the race. They kind of keep other races
Basically, he's talking about the llavero. He's right about that in a sense. But let's see how much game he's going to give up.
out of car wrecks. Like now we got a feud with the blacks, or we got a feud with the Mexicans, or whatever.
They call them car wrecks.
Yeah, well, if we get in a fight with them, the key holder is the guy that can communicate with the other key holders to the races and try and
You
keep
don't go and
peace.
delegate it.
Wow.
Yeah. And so I didn't have it happen where we finna get down with the Mexicans, and then our keys will go and their keys, and we finna
change.
jump. We get ready to jump, and they shake hands. All right, it ain't going. It ain't going. And it go that.
Tell me these guys ain't watched American Me a few times, but they're right. You know, there are spokesmen, people that will speak for you, to try. Because everyone in prison, you got to understand, they're trying to function. They're trying to go about their daily business, man. Everyone is trying to avoid pleito, violence at all costs, because if it gets real, it gets real. So the best thing to do is there's a lot of moves being made out there, man. There's a lot of feria, you know what I mean? Potentially to be made. So you just want to keep that process going. If you could avoid pleito, you could avoid drama, why not? You know, so they ain't lying about that. So far, so good, white guy and black brother.
Damn.
So, yeah, and you're trying to figure all this out. So what happened was I beat this fool's ass, and now I got the keys.
Oh wow.
This vault was on SNY. That will never happen on general population. Look at, okay, for those of you that watched the movie Shot Caller, when he hit the beast at the end and, I'm the shot caller, that doesn't happen. I'm going to tell you right now, if you remove someone, if you beat someone up, 2 hitters are coming at you immediately. They're not just going to give you the keys. Who the fuck you think you are, Wes Watson? Say it with your chest.
Oh.
But I can't have the keys because I'm a first termer. So a first termer is not allowed to have the keys. But nobody wanted to try to take the keys from me. So in order for them to take the keys from me, they got to fight me to take the keys away from me.
Oh boy.
So that kind of changed the dynamics of
That's not how it works. I'm not going to explain to you guys. I'm sure a lot of you guys are watching understand how it works. For those of you that don't know, refer to several of Mundo's videos. That's not how it works, bro. If they want them keys, them llaves, and it's not like they're real, literally keys, they're going to come over there and whack you. And just, it doesn't work like that. Spence on la tira. I call a whole bunch of bullshit.
the room, because now I'm able to navigate with these other races and have these conversations with these fucking ignorant people that don't understand how to really talk. You know what I mean? Like how to communicate and keep things cool. They
Hold on now, white guy. Don't be disrespecting the essays. Because that could be rough for you. You know what I mean? How you got out with a mustache, I don't understand. They'd have plucked every hair off your chinny chin fucking with the essays. The brothers too. You know, we don't be calling people ignorant. You know what I mean? With the Dalai Lama praying on your chest, because it gets ugly fast.
They misunderstand what this guy says or misinterpret what this guy says. The next thing you know, it's hot for everybody. You know.
And it's just misinterpretations.
Yeah, because they're dumb. Most of these guys are dumb, bro. Like, they're like the conversation. It made me. In some ways, you're sitting there listening to these guys. You're like, these guys really think this shit. Like, they
Fight about the dumbest shit.
Yeah. So.
Cities fighting over teams, fighting over. This is the dumbest shit. Xbox and PlayStation.
I don't know about you, but in prison, I never had an Xbox or a PlayStation. So I never fought over Xbox or PlayStation. We fought over the foundation and the establishment of the yada, the safety and security of the people, the forever forwardness. There was different things and rules and regulations that went on that I can't even speak on. But one thing I will say is, we didn't fight because the Raiders lost. So like, yeah, fuck it, they always lose. But it's all good. Anyways, we're gonna end it here, man. I've heard enough. I'm sure you've heard enough. This guy's story is outlandish. Again, man, go to Joe Rogan to hear the full podcast on this. A first-time offender who got the keys and punked everyone basically and said they're all ignorant and stupid. I don't think this guy wants to get incarcerated again. UFC or no, if you're UFC, some big brother will come and choke him out. That's just facts. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this reaction, man. I call bullshit on this one. I'm going to have to agree with Dubs. This guy is lying. Some stuff does make sense. Some doesn't. They lost me at PlayStation and Xbox. They definitely lost me on fucking he got the keys now. Those things would never, ever, ever happen in prison. But, hey, who am I to say so? You know what I mean? I just say, yo. With that being said, I hope that you move smooth with a purpose and you get everything that you want coming to you. Remember, at the end of the day, it's all about struggling and striving for the realness, the illness, and being real to your familia, man. Being real about yourself. If you like this, hit that like and subscribe with a thumbs up. If you don't, you can hit me with a thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears this crown. I'm just going to continue to strive and struggle and bring you the betterment of the best content I could bring. And at the same time, man, telling you and calling it like I see it. And this absolutely is a prison liar at work.